All right, Toolbox Tour Part 6 underway.
Let's get started at the top of the small box. I got one of these Empire magnetic angle finders just because I thought that I might need one day. I gotta be honest, I've never used it. Keep some of my pencil levels here, my line levels. Used those a number of times over the years. Some small mini clamps. I think they're little Craftsman ones. I've got them throughout the years. Once again, I use the top of my box for some of my stickers and whatnot. Starting here on the left, it's always nice to have a couple of lighters in the toolbox. A couple of small tins that I keep, pins and needles and things like that in. In the back here, I've got those little rubber covers. Those are really good for putting over the top of a caulking container or something along those lines. Got my super glue, my zip kick, a couple of extra caps there, some matches that I'll use every so often. Keep some odds and ends here, my gauge it, that comes in handy every once in a while. A couple of scrapers, some graphite that I have just in case I need it. Starting here in the box, I do have my Titan brand ball end Allens, both standard and metric. I've had those for a number of years. They work really well. Some of my ratcheting drivers, some of my all-in-one screwdrivers there as well. All Klein brand. I do have that one Irwin long extended version there. This one right here is the ratcheting Klein. It's like a 15-in-1. It's pretty amazing. And one thing I like about this guy is that it has a lot of hex bits built into it. I think they call it the heavy duty. Let me see if I can get it focused. Heavy duty multi. I got it at Home Depot. It's come in handy. It's nice when you're doing a lot of electrical work because it ratchets. Got some of my shorter, I think those are Lowe's Southwire screwdrivers, Robertson, Standard Phillips, some Linux, 7 or 9-in-1, the stubby multi, which I really like. Super short. I did some HVAC repair not too long ago, and it really helped get in some tight spots, so I like that. Got the 11-in-1, the extended multi, which is just super long. I have the Makita, what these are, this is the 3/8 and quarter Makita Impact driver sets. The one here on the left is the quarter, and then I have the 3/8 in standard and metric. Got a couple of right angle needle nose pliers, some small needle nose pliers here by Empire. Some little side cutters that I use all the time. I keep those zip ties around them because they want to flail open and they take up way too much space. Back here, if you guys haven't seen these before, these big Larry SIBOs, they're the LED, I think they're called COB LEDs. It's circuit on board. They are incredibly bright. I like this guy because it's magnetic on the bottom, and it's got the, you turn it on and off up here, and it really is just an amazing, it's hard to see here, but the amount of light is high, low, and then a red flash. So I've got that. Haven't had it too long. It's got a good weight to it too. I saw a couple reviews online, and some guys really recommended it. I've got the long reach kind of security bits back here. I think I needed one of the star bits, and that was a deal at Harbor Freight, and I ended up buying that for like $9.99. Got a couple of these extra little rubber bit holders. Few Impact 3/8 sockets. I find that a lot of things around the house end up being in 3/8 or half, not a lot of metric. And then I have my picks, long picks, some aluminized handle picks that I found at a tool store that were a good deal. Coming over here, which is actually the left of the big toolbox, I've got this magnetic holder, holds a number of bits. I've got a spark plug gapper, some feeler gauges, a little aluminum ruler that I use every so often. Doesn't have increments that I really use that often, but I do find that I like having the straight edge. Starting up top here, just some small precision screwdrivers, some really short Phillips and standard screwdrivers there. I used to do a lot of audio work, so any audio guys out there, you'll probably notice this looks like someone in the shop that you work with, or maybe even your own toolbox. I actually started getting interested in the tool world back when I was working in the audio industry. You'll notice a set of Mac screwdrivers. This is one of the first, I guess, expensive tool sets that I ever bought, and I have a hard time using them. They really, to be honest, just kind of sit there and look nice. I use a lot of other screwdrivers before I use those. Got some I keep saying that, interior. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but I have some interior panel tools. They work for a number of things. There's the Mac Phillips portion, so you can kind of see how big that set was. It was a couple $100 back in the day when I bought it, I believe, and that was a big purchase for me back in the kind of the mid 90s. Some more panel poppers. This is a nice set of Mac, close up there on the part number, pick tools. You'll kind of see the straight, right angle, kind of the squirrely guy, and then the hook tool. I have been the recipient of many gouged fingers with the hook tool, so be careful out there. And then I have a couple of small precision screwdrivers, a couple of punches, some scratch-alls. I used to work in a metal fabrication shop, and I have a number of the things that I used to use. And this one here on the left, that one right there, I actually got tired of having such a small handle, so I actually welded on a piece of, it's not pipe, but it's like a round stock to extend it. So when I hold it in my hands, let me see if I can get it here for you. It's more like it rests up here like a pencil versus having just you can see kind of where it ended. I liked having it like this because I was using it all day long, and it's got that's a little furry there, but it's got a super sharp end on it, and this has been ground down a number of times over the years. So I really enjoyed the metal shop. I got a lot of exposure to tools and a different kind of tools, layout stuff. It was really kind of fun. Down here, this is some Craftsman screwdrivers that I have. I have the entire set. There are some kind of specialty ones. This short, fat Phillips, short, fat standard I use fairly often. And it's just so stout that it works for a lot of things. Got the Harbor Freight hose, like radiator hose pickers. I use them for a number of things. Got a Cobalt set. This whole set, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This entire set I got when it was on ultra clearance, like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, for $9.99. I couldn't believe it, and I just can't pass up those deals. A lot of times I'll give tools away. If I ever have a friend or family member that bought a new house, some employees over the years, I make them toolkits, and sometimes I pull from my tools because they don't look too beat, and they've always appreciated all of that. All right, another kind of a specialty tool drawer here. I have a lot of razor blades, razor knives. Got that really giant Fat Max Extreme. It's really good for ripping down boxes and when you need a really long blade that's stout. More razor blades? Anyone? Razor blades? Got a lot. Some X-Actos, some metal punches. I have another set of Stanley pick tools here. I've got one of those reamer sets, which work really nice. And then I also have this Craftsman Pro long pick set, but they're full-size handles. Really nice. You can kind of see from the picture there how big they are. And I've used those a number of times, but mostly in the car audio world. So I got a reamer back there as well. Popping down here, this is the nut driver drawer. Let me get you the expanse here. Wow, look at all those nut drivers. These are my stubbies. You'll notice standard and metric. Try to keep them in order there. And I've had a couple of people comment that, hey, it doesn't look like you use your tools very much. I'm not a professional. I don't use these tools every day, but I will tell you, these nut drivers I've had since the mid-90s, I've used most of them, most heavily on foreign vehicles, the 8 and 10, 12 millimeter. So I'll admit some of the tools here don't get much use, but I've got them if I need them. And I've had a lot of people borrow tools from me as well. Sometimes I find that having longer nut drivers are nice. I bought this set a number of years ago from Sears. They work. They're nothing super high-end. I think you guys know the Evolve brand is kind of the knockoff version that Craftsman does. And now that Craftsman's being made overseas anyway, it's all kind of knockoff crap anyway. But one thing I found in the beginning was that the colors, whether standard or metric, are the same. Like you'll notice the two blues there. What I did was I wrapped tape, black tape, around the bottom of the handle, at the bottom of the shaft of each one of the metrics, so I know which ones I'm working with here. Here, there is a lot of stuff here. I kind of keep specialty stuff here. You'll see some Forstner bits down here in the bottom, a full set of Porter cable. These are a set of kind of like drill and taper drill, countersink, bore, and stop collar set. I got those for when I was doing some cabinetry work with a buddy. Some electrician's splicing tools, a little flashlight there. This is a little screw retractor kit. Can't get it opened with one hand. I don't know how these guys do sometimes with one hand. Well, you'll have to trust me, it's a screw extractor. I've got this Stanley Fat Max 1000 volt. It's like there's a main screwdriver, and then it's got interchangeable bits in it. Kind of like long reach. This is one of my nicer tools purchases that I ever made. Was this Wera screwdriver set. Comes in a little pouch to keep it all nice. Well, that's going to be hard to open. And it basically has, too hard to show here. You'll see it's got a nice knurled handle, a lot of nice grip, but it has the interchangeable bits that go in the end. And I got that on clearance at some point. Watching a bunch of YouTube videos, a bunch of these guys talk about Hillmore tools. So that I bought a few of those that I thought I'd use. This is a set of this Sioux set. This is a ratcheting screwdriver set, but it actually doesn't have any ratcheting. It's like quiet. So I've got that. Drill Master, it's kind of like a little, it's like a re-threading kit. You guys have probably seen it at Harbor Freight. I'll show you what it looks like here briefly. You can kind of see it's got the bits here, and then it has the tap sizes up through there, kind of the more common sizes that I use. And this right here is the Irwin bit extractor, or excuse me, a bolt extractor. I got these as a gift, and I haven't had to use them. I didn't even think about these when I was doing my fence project where I had to use the cam sockets that I got at Lowe's. If you watch my previous videos, you might have seen it. Oh, and this is the Wera bit diamond. I'll show you guys kind of how this works. If you have it down and you pop this up, the little bits pop out like this. And so when you're storing them, they're nice and compact, super thin. But once again, easy to access when you do need them.
Coming up top, guys, I've got my DeWalt drill set.